All right. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of the VIP Accent / KDM Culture PH channel. And today we are going to be talking about the 5 things that I like about this particular car, which is the VIP Accent, which is known as the Hyundai Accent. With that being said, let's get into it. Alright, so out of the 5 things, let's talk about the first one. So the first one being this car as being an economic car. Now we all know lately gas prices have been on the rise, as they always do. They never seem to go down, it always just seems to go up, which is fucking ridiculous. So having a car that gets great gas mileage is a top priority. Well, for me anyways. Well, no, it's always a plus as well when you have a car that gets great gas mileage, right? Unless you have a a heavy foot, then of course that's a different story. But the engine on this is a 1.4 liter Gamma engine, correct me if I'm not mistaken, since it is a 2012. And as its stock form, it's, I want to say it's fairly slow. It's not a race car, so I don't treat it like a race car. So there's no need for me to mash on the gas pedal all the time, unless I'm in a hurry, of course. And of course, when I'm trying to save gas, I usually try to keep the RPM and change gears at around 2,000 RPMs, and then I'll change the gears to try to save as much as I can and get a little bit better gas mileage. And when it comes to spirited driving, I do let it get to the high revs a little bit, but I don't bang on the limiters, because that's a no-no, especially on a car like this, on an economic car. You know what I mean? There's no reason for all that. It is not meant or built to take such an abuse like that, and since it's not modified, I wouldn't subject it to harsh conditions like that. So like I said, there's no need to treat it like a race car. And just chill. You know what I mean? Just drive chill. You know what I mean? Alright, so anyways, for the second one, let's go ahead and talk about the nice body lines, in my opinion, of this car. Now, although it is a simple economic car, like I've mentioned previously, with a little bit of aesthetics, mainly just a nice set of wheels, rims and tires, whatever you want to call it, it will completely transform the look of the car. The overall look of this generation, the 4th gen, I would say was completely revamped and redone compared to its last generation, the 3rd gen. Right now we're on the 5th gen, but I'm referring to my car anyways. But let's just put it this way: the 3rd gen, which was, I believe, 2010 and below, I could be wrong, but I do believe it was that year and below, were just visually unappealing. I mean, I don't want to say it's ugly, but let's just say it's visually unappealing. So now that I've had the car repainted from its original color, which was bronze, and now I got it on this custom pearl white, it actually accentuated it accentuated the body lines of the car, so it popped out a lot more. You can see the lines of the car a lot better now, and it just looks great, man, in my opinion at least. Anyway, you may say I'm biased because I got a KDM, or this is a KDM channel, but regardless, I'm just saying not the obvious. This car has some great lines on it, and like I said, when I switched it over to that Pro White, it popped out a little bit more. And I think many of you would agree with me on this, if you've ever heard of the expression that they say, many of us has heard this, that if you don't look back at your car after you park it, you own the wrong car. So I'm a firm believer, I truly believe that expression, and you can catch me many times having my car parked and then I'll just glance back at it real quick. You know what I mean? If you ain't doing that with your car, you probably own the wrong car. Alright, so the third thing that we actually like about this car, or I actually like about this car, which might sound weird to you guys, but I like the fact that the KDM is a underrated car, or just KTM brands in general is being underrated, the underdogs. Now, like I said, the KTM being the underrated brand and the underdogs made me even more interested in this car, on this brand. You know, living here in the Philippines, in a country dominated by the JDM culture, it has, I would say it has had a hard time getting recognized, getting any exposure out there. And it's just, it's hard for us. Now, granted, there are a small group of people with dope KTM builds in this country, which we can hopefully raise awareness to and, showcase in the near future. I do believe that the KTM cars is slowly but surely on the rise. And I'm here to be one of the pioneers in this country that will help showcase and bring awareness to these amazing Korean cars. Now, more and more people, as we see, are driving Hyundais and Kias out on the road, and I do believe it's only a matter of time before future enthusiasts will begin their own KTM build and be inspired by ours or the other ones out there that I can hopefully showcase out to the world, of YouTube. As we know, there's hardly any content for Korean cars in general on the internet, especially in this country, the Philippines. But like I said, I want to be one of the pioneers that brings light to that. So hopefully, with your help, we can go ahead and make that a reality. All right, so we're on number 4. Number 4, I want to talk about reliability. I like this car's reliability. We know that back then, I would say prior to 2010, Korean cars were notorious for being unreliable. But I do believe that nowadays, those stereotypes and bad stigmas are long gone. With this car being a 2012 model with just a little over 55,000 kilometers, or roughly 35,000 miles, which is still fairly low for being a 10-year-old car, it has not given me any type of mechanical problems. I have not had to replace any major parts. Now, I had a little bit of electrical gremlins here and there, but other than that, it wasn't anything that was out of pocket or broke the wallet, so to speak. So, by doing my maintenance or my PMS, which is your preventative maintenance services on time, or at least not letting it get too far ahead of you, that actually helps a lot. I do believe that helps a lot, and it makes a huge difference. Now, of course, we all know things break, wear and tear. It's just the usual things. Things are bound to break eventually, but doing your PMS and your regular maintenance will definitely extend the life of your car a little bit more, or prolong that incoming broken part or broken piece of the car, so to speak. But rather sooner or later, things are bound to break. So that's just happening, or that just happens with every type of car. But I do believe that if you take care of your car will take care back of you. You know what I mean? It will take care of you if you take care of your car. So that's just a general rule of thumb. And at the end of the day, I do believe that prevention is better than cure. So make sure that you guys keep up to date with your maintenance and your PMS, and I guarantee you will run into a whole lot of less problems than if you just let your oil change slide for a few months and you don't change your air filters, your cabin filters, that sort of thing. Just the basic maintenance stuff will go a long way. But of course, being a daily driver, of course, your mileage will come into play. You drive the thing every day, of course, it's gonna be subjected to more wear and tear. For me personally, that's why I only have about 55,000 kilometers on this car, is because I drive this car maybe once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks. So it just sits at the house. I have no use for it. We have a secondary car that we use for running errands and stuff like that. So we only take this out when me and the wifey go out on dates, or we go out on the weekends. But other than that, we don't use it. But that doesn't mean that I skip out on the maintenance and the PMS. I want to make sure that I don't overlook that, even if it's not being used too much. All right. So don't forget, scheduled maintenance, always a good thing. And all right, we're on number 5. Last but not the least, the 5th thing that I like about this car is that it makes me feel like $1,000,000. I don't know if you guys heard of that expression, but it makes me feel like $1,000,000. And the reason why is this car just simply doesn't disappoint me. Now, I know the exterior looks great. I've had it custom painted. Of course, that makes a huge difference. But to me, that custom pearl white just shouts elegance and class, in my opinion. Now, the interior, you know, it has a little bit of bits and pieces and accessories here and there, but it's not completely done yet. But the way it stands now, every time I hop in this car, I see the pillows. I feel the pillows when my back is on it, but right now it's just on my lap. But to me, that also screams luxury and comfort. And it's comfortable. You know, it's plush, supple leather, so I like it a lot. Well, you know, that's why I did kind of go for that VIP theme, because I wanted the inside to match the outside. You know, I wanted it to look elegant, classy, fancy, even though it's just an economic car. You know what I mean? That being an economic car, it's just, you know, a stereotype. It doesn't mean that you can't turn your car into a good build or the way you want to build it. So it is a VIP inspired, VIP, you know, influence build, and that's why I have all these pieces. And of course, in its stock form, to me, the interior just looked bland and boring, like it was lifeless. You know, but you can't expect too much, because like I said, it is an economic car, so I have to do a whole bunch of stuff to it. Added the neck pillows, the cushions, the curtains, and you know, to me, that made a whole world of difference on the inside, on the interior, and the way everything just feels to me when I'm driving this car. And I mean, like I said, man, every time I get in the car, every time I hop in it, I just feel like I'm driving something. I feel like I'm driving something luxurious and something fancy. And you know, to me, having that feeling, and regardless of what the price of the car is or what kind of car it is, to me, having that feeling, that truly is priceless. All right, we're at the end of this video. I know it's a quick, short video, and I plan to make more videos like this. Next up, we're going to be doing the 5 things that I dislike about the car. I don't want to say hate, because hate is a strong word. Anyways, if you made it this far, I want to thank you for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. And if you have any thoughts or comments, make sure you put them down in the comments below. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video or like this type of content. And if you haven't subscribed yet, man, consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you a thing, and your boy would greatly appreciate it. With that being said, man, thanks for tuning in to the VIP Accent / KDM Culture PH channel. It's your boy Jag, and I'm out. See, kids, that is why you don't do drugs. This motherfucker sipping rugby out of a bottle, twacked out of his mind, man. Sad world. Get your shit together, man. Don't do drugs. Drugs is bad.
Waking up and